Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good afternoon and happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you. Is it me or does it just kind of feel like there is this concerted effort to, I don't want to use the word dethrone Bitcoin, but to certainly not have Bitcoin be the face of the digital asset space? Is it just me? Because I feel like this is a concerted effort to do so. What is going on, guys? Good to see you. Hopefully the chat will work. Hopefully the chat will work and all things will be good. We'll see how it goes here. We'll give it a few yesterday with some issues before it actually came up. So we'll see if we have to do that again. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to learn more. All right, so let's see if this is going to work. All messages available, some messages. Okay. Yeah, it's not up. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Good to see you. Let me see if I can figure this thing out. I don't know why it doesn't show up. If there's just a delay. That is not the best of thumbnails right there. We'll have to change that. Hopefully we can change that. Yeah, this is like the anniversary day of Kobe, yeah? Kobe's passing. The numbers are down because of the channel's numbers are down because of we've been away for those few days. We're out of town. So let's see if I can't figure out what's going on with this chat. Let's save it here. Viewer activity, no super chats. Okay, the pop-up chat. Let's see if that will change some stuff. Like it took a while last time. It took a really long while for the chat to show and appear and all of that stuff. So let's see if it shows up, guys. Happy again, happy Tuesday. Hope you guys had a really, really blessed day. Hopefully it's going to get even better. The market kind of, what did the market do? I don't even know what you would call what happened to the market. What did the market do? Again, I'm not sure what you would call it. Still not working. Let's see. See if it'll come up eventually. So guys, listen, what are the numbers in the market right now? What is going on? 13 likes, 27 people, guys. I definitely appreciate you guys taking care of that for me and smashing that like and letting the world know that we are live. That we are live. Let me see here. What's this here? This is let me do this and put this out here. Guys, good today? How's the blockfolio today? The value of a token is in its use. Do that. A-N. If I could spell Hangout. Let's do that. Let's do that over here. Let's see what's going on with the chat. Still not up, huh? Interesting. It may take a while. We'll have to see what's going on, guys. It is really crazy that we can't get that. See if this will help. I can see when I chat, when I type something in the chat. Danny Law, there it is. Now it's working. Nope, more problems with the chat, buddy. Neil F., how are you, my friend? Danny Law, hello. You guys are the first two to actually get something going on in the chat. So hopefully it's going to work now going forward. Good to see you guys today. Yeah, so I don't know. It just seems like a real big time concerted effort to kind of do away with Bitcoin. Why is Larry Fink and Madame Lagarde talking about climate change, climate risk? I mean, here's Larry Fink talking about how he's got this letter out to all these CEOs that he put out about stakeholder capitalism, and included in this stakeholder capitalism is looking to invest in improving climate risk and carbon neutral platforms. I just find that to be very, very interesting. And what is up with the IMF? Are they really on our side? What's going on, comedian Chuck Real? There it goes. Yes, let's get to see you, ma'am. Is the IMF really on our side? It's the whole concept of the central bank digital currency. Is that really something that's good for us? Like, is it? Is that something that is good for us? Interesting. I don't know. I tell you what, we've talked about George Gammon on this show a number of times. Him and Robert Kiyosaki really have some really, really great stuff. So it's interesting to see if the central bank digital currency thing is going to happen. Just like Raoul Paul says, we have to look at the positive and the negatives. But boy, does it really feel like this is going to be the new fiat money. I'm going to let you guys listen to a couple of things from George Gammon that are really, really, really interesting stuff. He's an interesting guy. I'm not sure if he is an economist or not, but he really does have some great perspectives on the macro picture, if you will, of what is going on in digital assets. So guys, thankfully, appreciate you guys hanging out today. Over 43 people here, 24 likes. Thank you so much for checking in this afternoon. Most of the world is looking to go digital, says Danny Law. And the Biden administration is looking to remove Andrew Jackson from the $20 bill. Wow. What's going on, XRP run? The ESDR could run on a ledger. Yeah, it could. Norseman is in the building. How are you, my friend? Willie Washington. Did I see Willie Washington? Yep, I did see that. What's going on, bro? Good to see you. So that's some interesting stuff, right? So we'll talk about that a little bit, but I definitely want to share Glenn Hutchins' take on the World Economic Forum and continuing to iterate that the value of the token is in the use case. And I just think that is so important to understand. And this is the message that is going to be driven home long term, especially. Long term, especially. So, what's the deal? Do you guys remember Kendra Hill, the lady who came out on Twitter and steaming with all these kind of crazy things and really said that ultimately she said that, you know, she was part of an investment banker family that was in the know. And I guess in her way of kind of doing good was to tell the real deal about what's going to happen, whether it be with XRP and Stellar Lumens or Stellar Lumens or both XRP and Stellar Lumens. So hopefully we will remember to go over that as well. But quickly, let's go over the numbers. Let's see here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's see what's going on in the market, guys. What's going on? Uniswap. Uni. Oh my goodness, $13. Oh man, that's like over $5,000 for people if they held it. You guys see that benefit of holding it? Now, the good thing about Uniswap and that platform is you can participate and provide liquidity. They give those fees, a good portion, 70%, I believe, 60, 70% to the people participating on a platform. That's huge. It'd be great to see Bitcoin dominance get below 60%. It has not yet. Bitcoin is at 61.7% in terms of dominance, according to CoinGecko. Let's look at the top 10 digital assets. Bitcoin is at 31,963. It's down 12% for the 7 day. Ethereum is up 6.7% on 7 days, on the 7 day, $1,339. Polkadot is up 2%, 1688. XRP is at 26.5 cents, down 6% for the 7 day. Cardano is at 34 cents and down 7.5%. Chainlink is at $22.90, is up 4.4%. Litecoin's at $133. Bitcoin Cash, $425. Binance Coin, $41.10. Stellar is at 25.6 cents. Isn't that interesting? And then to round it off, if you will, since we got a couple of stable coins, will be Uniswap at number 13 at $13.46. It's up 46.5% on the 7 day. You just got to ask yourself, but why though? But why though? Why is Uniswap doing so swell? Why are they doing so swell? 7 day for Celsius is 4.5%. It's at $5. VeChain on the 7 day is down 4%. So this is mostly red today, right? Mostly red today. Use case seeds, indeed. What's going on, Rasheen? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, I have that RB. We are gonna look into that, my friend. Kendra Hill is the person who claims her grandpa is in Ripple. I thought she said it was an investment banker. The family was an investment banking background. Yeah. Oh man, bought all my coins above $1.25. Wow, how about that, RB? Yeah, right. Weathering the storm now, weathering the storm to reach its new all-time highs, right? Or at least previous. Barbara Taylor is in the building. How are you, miss? Another lady in crypto is here. Hey, C, it's good to see your chat working. Yeah, telling you. I sent you a DM. You did. Okay, I'll check that out. Hey guys, ready to be rich. Heard all about Kendra Hill. Yeah. Kendra Hill, interesting person. So we're going to go over a little bit of her stuff as well. RB says, hey, C, I hope you are well, my friend. Been doing some research on Algo. It's one of those tokens the new chairman of the SEC hasn't dissed. Yeah, exactly, because they're buds, right? That MIT background, right? The MIT background, right? Yep. Right? That's exactly right. You're right. 100% right about that, RB. So let's take a listen to our guy, Glenn Hutchins, right? Let's take a listen to him. What's going on, Klaus? Klaus? Or is it Class? It's Klaus? Class? It's not Klaus. There's no you in there. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Mama Lacey is here. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Flo is here. How are you, Flo? Hey, no worries, RB, no worries. I honestly think we're seeing XRP hitting 15 cent in the next 2 weeks. We'll see. We shall definitely see. Rule number one, HODL. Rule number two, see rule number one, says Mark Kelty. How about that, bro? Good to see you on the stream, my friend. New York is in the building without question. So, oh, wait a minute. What's going on here? What is going on here? We don't want that going on. Let's see there. Nope, that's still not as good as it usually is. But in any case, it'll work. It'll do on a pinch. Yeah, I don't like that. But anyway. So guys, listen, there's the numbers for the market. Let's take a listen to Glenn Hutchins. This lady Hannah here, she has been doing her thing on Twitter as of late. Shout out to Anak _Ganteng on Twitter who shared this. I think I have this saved a couple of times. I do. 432HZ XRP shared as well. How long is this? This is 51 seconds. His or hers. Ripple investor Glenn Hutchins is an American businessman and investor. He is a private equity investor focused on the technology sector and co-founder of Silver Lake Partners. Yes, he is. A $39 billion private equity firm. I believe he's a board member in DCG, Digital Currency Group as well. Oh, so he shared a nice thing. So there you go. Let's take a listen to it.
By the use case that you put up a whole new way of using this digital currency technology and a whole new set of products that be created around that. And we're now evolving into each particular company or each particular network that's created with a set of use cases has its own token. So we're at a place now where there are going to be a proliferation of tokens run on networks based upon certain protocols. So there will be multiple tokens that will be used. And my guess is, and those will be driven by the use cases that present the consumers to use those tokens. And then they'll come back, in my view, into things like protocol, into things like Bitcoin and stable coins for purposes of being a store of value.
Is that like the euro?
Sorry?
Was that like Europe before the euro?
So that's our guy, Glenn Hutchins, who reminds us all, that the value is in the protocol, and focusing on the price of the token is distracting and, in fact, uninformative. Interesting guy, that Glenn Hutchins, a very, very interesting guy. So I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about the IMF and what they're looking to do with their reset and that kind of stuff. Let's go over here. You guys know how we said on this channel a number of times. Here's George Gammon here, his channel. He's got 2 channels. Highly recommend you guys check him out and subscribe to his channel and hit that notification bell. These the last 2 videos here. Actually, Bretton Woods 2.0, the IMF's plan for global control. Shocking new intel in parentheses. Someone's got a really good guy or gal for titles. IMF's plan to replace Bitcoin, slant the gold and the dollar with the digital SDR. Shocking info revealed. Oh, so let's take a listen to George Gammon. Interesting guy. Definitely, check him out. See if it makes sense to you. Wait a minute, that's not what I want. Hold on one second.
Would have to run these huge trade deficits in order to supply the world with the dollars that those emerging economies needed to grow. The World Economic Forum and the IMF's plan to replace Bitcoin, gold, the dollar with the digital or crypto SDR? I'm going to explain this to you in 3 simple, fast steps.
I want you to listen. Let's show this here. Maybe listen to this. But definitely get this, put this down on the calendar or something to check out. It's 42 minutes long.
Oh, the magic of editing. Pretty cool, huh? But what's not cool is now at the top of the food chain, the top of the totem pole, is the IMF, Klaus, and Mr. Bigglesworth. And I think what you're going to see in 2021 and beyond are more and more negative PR campaigns and comments from the politicians, from maybe Janet Yellen, from the IMF, the World Economic Forum. They're going to make gold out to be a barbarous relic that cannot be used, and Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency as something that is only used by villains, criminals, drug dealers, terrorists, and therefore it is unfit for public use.
Just think about that. And what have we been seeing, guys? What have we been seeing for as long as I can remember? The life of King Wage is in the building. How are you, bro? Crypto C's greeting, good brother in chat. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you today. Cyber Ben is here. Valuing the protocol. I want to that about every coin. Richard Francis here. What's going on, my friend? Norseman. I think I said hey to you already. I did. But hello again. Michael Cummings is here. What's up, C's? Just wanted to stop in and hit that like button. I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate you being here. Got a busy day today. Yeah, get some things done. That's what it's about, right? Productivity, my friend. Huddle strong, bro. Zeno is here. Sup, C's, and the rest of the XRP fam. Luna the Alpha is in the building. Scary, right? So ultimately, there's a war going on, right? Some say it's like the global elites, and then there's some other thing. I don't know. But I do notice that Madame Lagarde, I have noticed from day one that Madame Lagarde has not, I repeat, has not had anything favorable or positive about Bitcoin. I do know that. Now, in this video, he says Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. But certainly there is this concerted effort, in my view, to dethrone Bitcoin or not have Bitcoin be the face of the digital asset space. But what if it's bigger than that? What if they actually want to try to get rid of Bitcoin and put it in a corner and, like he says, say that it's no good, you guys need to use our thing, this SDR. How does that work for crypto? I guess what I'm asking is, do you think it's a good idea for Bitcoin to be regulated out of existence? Do you think that that's a good idea for Bitcoin to be regulated out of existence? P Phil 56, what's up, bro? What's good with you, man? Good to see you today. Helen Cox, another lady of crypto, was in the building. Hey, Helen, how are you? Where are you checking in from, man? Appreciate you checking in today on the Crypto Seeds channel. Guys, do me a favor. 97 people here and only 47 likes. Only 47 likes, guys. Do me a favor. Let's let the world know that the Crypto Seeds is live. Let's let YouTube know that this is a channel of value, looking to bring more and more of us into the digital asset space. And we can do that. One of the best ways to support this channel is just to smash that like button and certainly participate in the chat. Those are the two greatest things that you can do for the Crypto Seeds. I definitely appreciate that. So just collapse that chat if you would. Go smash the like and then come back and hang out. And I definitely appreciate that. And let me know that you smashed the like in the chat. That would be really, really cool. So do you think that it would be a great idea to not dethrone, but just get rid of Bitcoin? how would that affect the whole entire digital asset space, right? How would it affect the entire digital asset space? If Bitcoin is here, if it is no longer here, are we still able to participate in the digital asset space? Are all the trading pairs changing? Hold on a second. Looks like Miss Crypto C just calling. Hey, babe. I think so. Yep. Yeah. Yep. All right. Bye. So, I mean, what would happen if Bitcoin's gone? Does the digital asset space still continue? And I guess what I'm asking is not having Bitcoin in the digital asset space, does it still allow for you and I? Let's say we don't want to deal in the fiat dollar, right? GDLT was good, bro. We don't want to deal in the fiat dollar. We want to stay in crypto. Can we do it if Bitcoin is no longer here? And Crypto Man broke the like button. Oh, so that was the reason. That's why the numbers weren't going up. What's going on, Crypto Man? Good to see you, bro. Does the digital asset space continue without Bitcoin? Helen Cox says it would affect the entire financial market. ETH could hold its own if Bitcoin is gone. ETH could expand. Jay Tillum is in the building, Richmond, VA. How about that? I do a lot of business in Richmond, bro. Good to see you. GC 1282 says Bitcoin is useless. Why would it hurt? So what I'm thinking is in the principles of Bitcoin and what that represents, right? Not necessarily the digital asset, but the idea that you and I have an opportunity to participate in a monetary policy or system that is not beholden upon them, right? So you remember when I quoted Ross Stevens when he talked about he wrote an email to his shareholders. And so I guess let me rephrase it. Is the ridding of Bitcoin change this at all? Ross Stevens said this. He's the chairman, CEO, founder of Stone Ridge, I believe United, hugely successful company. He wrote a letter, an annual letter to his shareholders. And I'm totally stealing this from Michael Saylor because Michael Saylor shared that with me. Each citizen, quote unquote, each citizen now has a choice. You can stay on the fiat standard, in which some people get to produce unlimited units of money for free, just not you. Or you can opt in to the Bitcoin standard, in which no one gets to do that, including you. So if we get rid of Bitcoin, do we get rid of that? Do we lose that option? Do we lose that, what some would say is a sound monetary policy, right? Are we looking too much into the fact that it's inferior technology and not giving enough credence to the principal philosophy that the Bitcoin standard brings to the digital asset space? The 21 million, no more ever created. The choice that you and I get to make to own this asset that has value in it because we decided that it has value in it, and not be beholden to an economic system, again, where they get to print unlimited amounts of money for free. Do we rid ourselves of the Bitcoin standard by getting rid of Bitcoin? Do we lose that? Norseman, that is correct. Bitcoin is Napster and XRP is Spotify without question. That is without question. But do we lose it? Do we lose that? If we get rid of Bitcoin, do we lose that in which the standard in which no one gets to do that, including you? Do we lose that when we lose Bitcoin? That's my question, right? Let me read it again. Each citizen now has a choice. You can stay on the fiat standard in which some people get to produce unlimited units of money for free, just not you. Or opt in into the Bitcoin standard in which no one gets to do that, including you. That's my concern. Is this a show between from the IMF, the WEF? Are they all saying the IMF, Christina Georgieva, the WEF with Klaus dude, the ECB with Madame Lagarde? They're all saying about these nefarious acts, the energy thing for Bitcoin. Is that the guise? Is that the deception? Is that the sleight hand? All the carbon stuff. Is that the guys? Because they understand that behind Bitcoin and slow transactions, right? What is it? Slow transactions, no peer-to-peer payment thing that's not going to work. Behind the shortcomings of Bitcoin is that Bitcoin standard that really represents a monetary policy. Is that what they're ultimately threatened by? And they're just using the fact of the energy, the fact of the carbon emissions, right? The fact of it being slow and all that. Are they just using that as the disguise because they ultimately recognize the power behind it? And again, just Google Ross Stevens Stone Ridge. This is what he wrote. He wrote this. The dude was a billionaire, I believe, wrote this in an annual letter to his shareholders. They probably don't even know what Bitcoin is. He wrote this in a letter to his shareholders. I'm beginning to think, I got to be honest with you guys, I'm beginning to lean more and more into the fact that it's not the digital asset Bitcoin, but the monetary policy, freedom, if the free market that it represents. I'm really, really beginning to think that is really the deal. I told you guys I'm reading this book called The Bitcoin Standard by a guy's name who I can't pronounce, but I know the last name is Amos, Ammous, The Bitcoin Standard. And I think that ultimately is what they're afraid of. I don't think that they're afraid or concerned with, I should say. That's what they're ultimately concerned with. They're concerned with that Bitcoin represents a monetary policy, right? A monetary policy in which no one gets to print an unlimited amount of money, including them. That's what I think they're afraid of. That's what I think they're afraid of. That's what I think is what they're afraid of. Right? I think ultimately that's what they're afraid of. Right? Is it the fact? Is it the mining in China? I'm curious if that's what they're afraid of. Why haven't they ever mentioned it? Well, I'm talking Lagarde and ECBs of the world, right? The WEF and the IMF. They never talk about. Wouldn't it be so easy for them to point to the mining and it being controlled in China? Wouldn't it be so easy for them? Never say it. You ever think about that? Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse, yeah, they say it all the time. People from the WF, wouldn't that be an easy thing to get out in mainstream media? That China, if you will, and maybe even Russia, wouldn't that be the easy thing to say? But you never hear that. In fact, when Chris or Larson or Brad Garlinghouse bring it up on mainstream media, they just cut it off, right? They cut that talk off. You ever notice that? That actually happened to Brad one time. You ever notice that? Again, just some food for thought. I found that to be very intriguing that Ross Stevens, again, a guy, right, that's done well for himself, created generational wealth, would write that in a letter to his shareholders. I find that to be very, very fascinating. That this guy is intrigued by what Bitcoin represents more so than that store of value, if you will. But I found that to be very, very interesting. The life of King Wade, you're right, my friend. We must always remember that they will never tell us the truth, but have truths indeed. I just find that to be interesting. I really, really do. And what are they really trying to do with XRP? Richard Francis, they want to kill XRP and run it to the ground. They want China to have control. They say Bitcoin and ETH are not securities, but when it comes to XRP, they won't say one way or another, and then they sue, right? I think that is more about in-house than anything else. When we talk, Richard, when we talk the IMF and the WEF and the ECB, those are global entities, right? Talking on a global stage. I think the United States, or the people who control the financial institution, the people who control the finances in this country, are not excited about XRP. But I don't know about I don't know about the IMF, right? I don't know about the WEF, who's written and mentioned them in the policy toolkit. I don't know about Madame Lagarde, who has been found to be hanging around Brad, and right. So I don't know about the global. Locally, I believe that Goldman's and Citi and JP Morgan, not so excited about XRP. You know what I mean? German Armendariz. Yeah, they've halted trading in certain places in the United States, bro. You can purchase XRP on Uphold and BitTrue, BITRUE, right? That's right, Barbara Taylor. You're exactly right. Isn't that a quote from one of the Rothschilds? That's probably why the U.S. wants all the escrow of XRP. Those who control the money don't care about any laws. I believe that is a Rothschild, part of a Rothschild's quote. Right? What's going on, Trevor? Good to see you, bro. Good afternoon to you. So, I mean, I just, it's some food for thought. But you guys know who've been following my channel, I've always said this, that it just seems to be this concerted effort to dethrone or not have Bitcoin, one or the other, if not both, represent the digital asset space. It just, this whole carbon thing. Why is Larry Fink talking about companies need to be concerned about carbon neutral platforms? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, why is he making a big deal about it? Let me see if I can't find it for you guys. I found that to be very, very, very interesting. This is one of them. It's on Squawkbox. I just thought it was more and more people need to understand that climate risk is investment risk. And I always ask myself, why is that? Stakeholder capitalism. I found that to be interesting. Let's listen to this one here. Like, again, Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, what, 8-9 trillion in assets under management, says something like more and more people do understand that climate risk is investment risk. I just always wondered and thought to myself, since when is Larry Fink and the likes been concerned about climate risk? Unless on the back end of that, he's talking about Bitcoin.
Critics raise repeatedly asked Larry Fink about whether he was surprised by the emphasis that corporate American investors have put on climate over the last year. Those examples including Microsoft, Salesforce, and Delta during what has been a pandemic and to some degree, even a financial crisis.
More and more people do understand that climate risk is investment risk. And as more investors understand that, and I wrote this in my last year's letter, when finance really understands a problem, we move that, we take that future problem and bring it forward. And that's what we saw in 2020 and what we're seeing now. The flows even in January in sustainability funds are growing, not shrinking. And this is going to continue in 2021.
One of the questions that critics raise repeatedly is that companies announce plans to be net zero or to be neutral, carbon neutral or whatnot. In large part, that requires them to buy carbon offsets and things like that, but that the carbon offset market is not real. And in fact, some of it may even be fake. The idea that certain forests or trees are being conserved, that they might have been conserved anyway, and they're being double counted, and there's all sorts of shenanigans taking place. What do you think about that?
I'm not here to really understand whether there's shenanigans or not. I believe there companies that buy carbon, who buy carbon offsets, it's a legitimate process. Net, it does improve the world. And do we have the proper metrics and analytics to really measure it properly? Probably not, but we're moving there. Look, I like having these skeptics because the skeptics push us further. So I'm not against that type of skepticism, but I would say to you, Andrew, with total clarity and confidence, that finance has caught on to the idea that we need to move forward on sustainability. And I believe we're at the cutting edge of making substantial changes in how we invest, where we invest. And I believe this is going to move sustainability much faster than any of the skeptics ever imagined. And I would say, as you framed the prior question, so many of the skeptics did not even understand so much of what I wrote about last year. And it's happening. We're seeing an acceleration of money moving into more sustainability. Now we're talking about overvalued companies. A year ago, we didn't do that. So, I couldn't win last year.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. For me, right, in the crypto sieges home, I'm just not buying that Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock with 8 or 9 trillion in assets under management, is concerned about carbon neutral anything. I'm just not buying it. I think ultimately this is about Bitcoin. I really, really do. Jungle Lincoln's here. What's going on, bro? Good to see you. I ultimately believe that's what it's about. Jungle Inc. We started this channel off with really discussing George Gammon's YouTube channel and the IMF plans with the SDR. Two interesting videos on ultimately, having this ultimate control over everything. The IMF being in charge of everything, and starting with the central bank digital currencies is just that, a start. It's just a start, but the IMF and these quote unquote SDRs is where it's going to evolve to. And what's his name? Jim Rickards spoke to this because we know D&I talked about this quite a bit, about this notion of an ESDR. But I would tell you guys that both Raoul Pal and George Gammon both said, more so Raoul Pal asked, well, what are the advantages and disadvantages? Where Gammon's only sees the disadvantages, right? He only speaks to the disadvantages of the IMF and the SDRs and central bank digital currencies. However, he does speak favorably of decentralization in Bitcoin. So, which is fascinating. And it is also cool to see that Robert Kiyosaki, who has been a long time gold guy, is now a Bitcoin and gold guy. I find that to be very, very fascinating as well. Chrissy Fouts is here. Hey, Chrissy, how are you? Another lady of crypto is here. Chrissy's here. Barbara is here. I am absolutely loving that the ladies of crypto checked in, for sure, right? So I'm almost getting close to this kind of torn thing with the central bank digital currencies. The rational side says they're coming, and we as XRP hodlers can leverage that. We're hodlers, right? And so as XRP hodlers, we can leverage the fact that the central bank digital currency, it's pretty much a done deal. It's coming. And, as hodlers, we can feel confident that, a good majority of these central banks, I don't know if it's going to be all the central banks, but a good number of the central banks will look to build their CBDCs on the XRPL ledger. And so that's great for us as hodlers. Is that great for us overall? I don't know. But if it's coming, how do we pivot and adjust to leverage that it's coming, right? Ultimately, that's what we have to look at. We're not in a position to have it not come, right? Like a lot of people think that Bitcoin is the way to not have a central bank. Maybe if they got the payments thing right? Maybe if they got that payment thing down, then maybe, but they didn't, and they haven't. Right? They didn't check the box on peer-to-peer payments. That's why Bitcoin has, right? So they didn't check the box. So Bitcoin didn't do ultimately what it was intended to do. So with that being the case, like the central banks are going to keep kind of doing what the central banks do, right? Stable coins are going to certainly play a role in things, but that they're stable, right? There's no increase in value from that, right? So it's the other digital assets. So I'm just wondering, I just believe, Jungle, I really believe that the IMF and the WF, they're putting on a show about nefarious and anti-money laundering with Bitcoin and all this crazy activity with Bitcoin. They're putting on a show about electricity and urban carbon, this and that when they talk Bitcoin. But I believe ultimately that they recognize the other thing, and that's the Bitcoin standard, right? And I'll quote for you again what Ross Stevens, the chairman of Stonebridge, who Michael Saylor says is the biggest Bitcoin maxi. Yeah, Ross Stevens. In a letter to his shareholders, in an annual letter, and I quote, each citizen has a choice. You can stay on the fiat standard in which some people get to produce unlimited units of money for free, just not you. Or opt in to the Bitcoin standard in which no one gets to do that, including you. It feels like for me, that is what the WEF and the IMF and the ECB and any central bank and governor is concerned with. That's what I feel like. Ultimately, for each and every individual in home, right, in their home, we can only do what we can do, right? We can only do what we can control, right? This technology is a great alternative in a lot of ways in monetary policy. In a lot of ways, it is a big, massive alternative in a lot of ways, right? It really, really is. That's what it really represents. And I just think that I think it's important that Bitcoin does not go away because of the values and principles that it represents. We in the community, we that have been in the digital asset space since 2016 and earlier, we get the idea of the inferior technology, but I don't want us to forget, or at least I would like for us to remember and consider the other principles, monetary free market principles that option of Bitcoin brings and digital assets that it brings. What's going on, Farshad? Good to see you, man. That's right, Zeno. We can only position ourselves and brace for the new world. Fourth industrial revolution. Many people will lose their jobs due to robotics and AI. Exactly. Yeah, thank God that we are early, Zeno. You're exactly right about that. And so for me, that's the discussion, right? Generally says it's coming. We will gain efficiency and convenience and lose privacy and control. And exactly. A lot of the things that Raul Paul from Real Vision Crypto pointed out as well, right? Because we can only, like Zeno was saying, we can only position ourselves to take advantage of what is coming. So I ask you, the central bank digital currencies, Ripple and their insights they're saying they believe it to be the future fiat. It's the future fiat, right? And so, which for me is another reason why I think it's important for Bitcoin to stay. I'm not saying that, you want to put your hard-earned cash into BTC. I tend to go the opposite direction in terms of investing in a portfolio. I would rather have more altcoins than I have Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I still have Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? But right, because ultimately the best return on my money is going to be in the altcoins, even though a percentage of that wins will go into Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? A percentage, right? It's another thing if I come to the table with $400 to $1 billion and that dirty, nasty fiat. And now I want to diversify into the crypto, right? Certainly it's going to be the other way around, right? 90+% is going to be in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and about 1% is going to be in the alts, right? Because I already got mine, right? At least that's the way I look at it in the crypto procedures home. Not financial advice, guys. Certainly, I'm not telling you what to do with your own money, but I'm beginning to think more and more about this. Why this, we have to ask ourselves why Madame Lagarde and Klaus and right from the WF and Christina Georgieva from the IMF, why are they talking about this Bitcoin thing? Why are they talking about this reset? And what does it look like for you and I? So I've always said this. I think we want the digital assets to win that have use case. And the use case for Bitcoin is definitely store of value. Definitely store of value. And I think we don't want to take away that choice that it will give, millions of people another option to a monetary policy that has failed us time and time and time and time again. T10, what's good, bro? How much will XRP be? How much will XRP be when that happens? Barbara Taylor, you're right. And that's what it's about. And I just think that Bitcoin represents this economic freedom, monetary policy choice or alternative. And they don't want us to have that. They don't want us to have it. And that's what I think it's about. They don't want us to have it. And, like it or not, Ripple, the company, chose a different path. They chose a different path. And I think they chose, personally, I think they chose the right path. Because in the real world, it's going to be a while before, look, we are just about ready to get rid of a portion of banks. I mean, do you guys see that? We're just about ready to get rid of a significant amount of banks. Right? Think about that. We're just about doing it. Now, it's not going to be the tier 1 banks anytime soon, but who knows what the next technology might bring, right? Who knows what the next technology might bring. So I've always said this, and I still agree. I still say this to this day. I think that and this whole working with the banks thing with Ripple I just think it's misleading, because I really believe that they're exposing the banks. They're exposing the banking model. They're exposing the corresponding banking system. They're exposing and illuminating and pointing out one of the ailments in the whole economic world of illiquidity and the lack of the velocity of money. And they have a solution to that. To me, that's bigger than working with the banks. Like, to me, it's bigger, right? And not only are they exposing it, they come with it's one thing to point out a challenge. It's quite another thing to point out the challenge and come and offer a solution. And that, my friend, is the issue. That's what, to me, separates Ripple from everything else out there. Because number one, they expose. I've always said they'll believe it's an inside job. I always point to that movie with Denzel Washington and Clive Owens. I've always believed Ripple was doing something in an inside job. I still, to this day, believe that. But they didn't just expose it and point out the ailments of global illiquidity and the lack of velocity in money. They brought a solution. They brought a solution. Bitcoin exposed the challenges in the monetary policy, right? But its solution is simply to buy it and hold it, right? There's no velocity in money. There's no solving of the illiquidity. There's no solving of the lack of velocity of money there. Jaco Estrahunzen, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you. No, that is a virtual screen, my friend. Soon enough, though, we'll be going there. The central bank, says Barbara Taylor, intentionally squeezing out the smaller banks. All part of Agenda 21. They want total control. Absolutely. Exactly right. They do. And so does the IMF, right? Neil F. points out that HSBC is closing 80 branches, right? Yeah, so ultimately, I believe personally that Ripple is they're bringing more to the table. You know, because I say this all the time. No one forgets 2008, 2009. No one forgets that. No one has forgotten it. Don't you all find it very interesting that the same year that happened, Satoshi comes out with his deal and lays it out in the world? No one has forgotten it. And Bitcoin came in and said, boom, boom, boom. And Ripple came right after and said, boom, 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 right? A better solution. And that's what I believe that this is. I really, ultimately, I truly and truly and truly, truly believe that. Helen Cox, we are headed into a wonderful time to be living on this earth. The wealth transfer among the people. Exactly, Helen. You're exactly right. I feel like I know you from somewhere. That name sounds very, very familiar, especially if you are from VA. But that is ultimately the deal. I really do think that, but since we can't ultimately do away, just like Jim Rogers, the famous billionaire, says when it comes to Bitcoin, and he's talking about the digital asset space, he says, they quote unquote have the guns, they have the big guns, and they have the military. And so until that changes, we all have to pivot and adjust and find the best way to do for ourselves and to do for others, right? And one of the best ways to do for others is to take care of you and your family, and then go on that road or path, if you will, beginning to help others and share your wealth and allow your wealth to benefit others, right? Ultimately, that's kind of how I see it. So that's a very, very interesting thing. Let me see what else I wanted to share with you guys. Oh, indeed. Yeah, banking is a big time scam, right? And so ultimately, what's coming with Square, what's coming with Circle, it is definitely for us, the digital asset space. I just got to tell you, ultimately, is our chance to win. We have to position ourselves as best that we can. And I just believe that the idea, concept, principles behind Bitcoin gives us more options, and we need that. So I don't want Bitcoin to fail. I think that ultimately real use case and utility will rule the day, right? We've always said that will rule the day. And I believe there isn't a greater use case and utility or a platform with more use cases than XRP. VeChain is certainly doing its thing for sure, but ultimately Ripple and XRP are doing their thing. And I am really, really excited about that. And we should all be excited about that as XRP hodlers, without question. So, guys, look, real use case, the value of the token and its use case is ultimately the deal. The value of a token is in its use cases. And we're blessed to be XRP hodlers, right? But we're in this digital asset space as a whole. Absolutely. Everyone remembers I'm sure a lot of us remember that BitConnect thing, right? What's going on, Tommy? Good to see you, right? So, oh, Tommy Sotomayor's mama. Oh, okay. So another lady of crypto is here. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, Barbara, I'm not excited about it. I'm hoping that, me and Miss Crypto C say, yeah, we're going to fight that thing to the bitter end. I don't need an extra shot. I'm good, right? So we're going to definitely fight that to the bitter end, for sure. Yeah, I have, Zeno. Siege, have you been catching up on Flare Finances? It's built upon the Flare network. Absolutely. Excited about Flare Finance. Really, really excited about the Flare network because there's XRP hodlers and eventually Litecoin hodlers. We get to participate, in that ecosystem to in large part to help that system win. And I am 10,000% excited about that, guys. Do me a favor. Let's try to get to over 100 likes. We got 121 people here. Do me a favor and smash that like. Let's get over 100 likes in this live stream. That would be absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to collapse the chat and go smash the like if you haven't already, and then come back and enjoy the hangout. Farshad, thank you. Do smash that like button in your way in, please. Thank you, Farshad. I appreciate that. Exactly. This is exactly right. And it's ultimately about control. And for us to begin to get in the position to gain control, we have to win financially, right? We can't kid ourselves. We have to win financially. And once we win financially, then we can begin to empower others to do the same, and kind of go down that philanthropy or philanthropic path to helping others, right? But it's important for us, right? For us, the average Joe and Jane, to win, right? And then go out there and begin to help others. Adriano Hammond, best channel ever. Thank you, Adriano. I appreciate that, my friend. Right, ES space P. Flare is going to revolutionize the DeFi space. We will do well. I agree with you 100%, my friend. I really, really, really do. We're in a blessed spot. I hope that everyone really considers participating in the Flare network, in this ecosystem. Get educated. Learn what it's about. Learn what that FTSO is about. In fact, let me see something here. I have something. Should I read this Kendra Hill thing? Let me see. Should I read this? Let's see. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. You guys remember Kendra Hill? I'm gonna read a little bit from what she said here. Digital gold for the upper class. The media is a tool that is used to control the lower class. The majority are very easy to manipulate. For example, Slim Fast. Okay, cool. I am able to personally destroy all arguments that are anti-XRP because I know the truth and I possess more knowledge than you regarding Ripple and XRP. A full notebook to be exact. My grandpa gave it to me so that I would understand, because I wanted to sell my XRP I was given a few years ago. 5 years from now, it will be the upper class that is in possession of almost the entire supply of XRP. It is not meant for the lower class. However, at this moment in time, someone from the lower class can buy and hold XRP, allowing them to move up in the world. The media will use trickery to convince you that XRP is not worth investing in long term. Use your brains, not emotions, and stay strong. Talk to me if you are unclear. This was someone, again, who came in on Twitter and steamed it and came out with some stuff, interesting stuff, and then kind of left, right? Interesting, to say the least. Alex Sheet is in the building. What's going on, my friends? Oh, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate that. 102 likes, over 121 people in the stream. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I really, really do appreciate you guys doing that. Well, Spark and Flare is the same thing, my friend. Enrico Ray, right? So Flare Networks is the name of the platform. FLR is the three-letter identifier for Spark. Spark is the name of the FLR. Hope that helps, Enrico. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for hanging out on a Sunday afternoon like that. TJ Jackson, Sunday afternoon, Tuesday afternoon. What's good, TJ Jackson? Good to see you, bro. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for the super chat, man. Thanks for supporting the channel, brother. I appreciate that. The best way to find that Barbara Taylor is to go to XRP Riddler Archive, XRP space Riddler space archive on Twitter. And you can find those interesting stuff. Mr. Window, what is going on, my friend? Good to see you. Make no mistake, my name's Jeff. Hey, Jeff, how are you, bro? Thank you, Phantom Beat. I appreciate that. Appreciate you being here. All right, guys, listen, never ever forget this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, but we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.